Hi everybody, this is Trish from Art Journal Junkie. So today I'm doing the second page in my little handmade watercolor zine, and you saw the previous one, which was the little house. There it is on the side. So today again I've pulled out an array of acrylics and some gesso. I find that even though I'm using watercolor paper, which takes wet media very well, as you know, I still like to gesso the page because the acrylics then have such a vibrant color. And I'm going to continue in this vein with the entire little zine using the collage elements from CrowAboutStudios, and I will put the links down below. So I'm speeding up here because you don't need to watch me gesso a page, and you also don't need to watch the gesso dry, do you? So let's get on with it. The first thing that I've done is I've colored up the little wonky house on the left hand side because I really don't want to mess it up if I make any mistakes or splatter paint around, as I'm wont to do. So I'm dispensing just a few colors onto my craft mat, and I'm going to find myself quite a hard bristled brush, and this is one that I use usually for either gesso or what do you call the stuff, matte gel medium, and it's really nice and hard. I've just wetted it a little bit, and I'm wiping it off on a baby wipe, and then I'm going to start putting down the colors in a horizontal and a vertical fashion. And I quite like the fact that you know, the bristles give it that sort of very scratchy feeling. So I'm going to play around on this page for a little while, just using the different colors, and I'm going to speed it up. I hope you enjoy watching it. I'll be back in a moment. So using my heat gun tool, I've given it a good dry for just in case, and then grabbed out one of my favorite stencils. You can see it's loved. It's a homemade stencil which I cut on my Cameo cutter, and I think if I remember correctly it's just the inside piece of plastic from some sort of file folder system. Anyway, I grabbed a cosmetic sponge and some pink paint. I'm going to just add a few circles. But what's happened here is the cosmetic sponge has got hard because I didn't wash it off. But no matter, I just lop off that icky hard edge and I'm good to go again. And I've chosen a couple of different colors just to complement the blue and the greens that I've used. And I'm going to add a few little circles here and there. So after a bit of a clean up, I grabbed just some Deco Art or Americana paints. This is Payne's Grey. Sometimes I use black, but I find Payne's Grey just doesn't seem to be quite so stark. And using the edge of an old gift card, I'm making some, again, keeping this horizontal and vertical, theme going. I'm just using the Payne's Grey to make horizontal and vertical stripes, and as I'll do the same with the white paint. Clearly I changed my mind. As you all know, I'm wont to do. So I didn't use the white paint on the vertical and horizontal stripes with a credit card. Instead, I grabbed another homemade or home cut stencil, and I'm putting a couple of little, oval thingamagafters using a sponge and the white paint on the top of the page and again at the side. This is the one thing I love about having my silhouette cameo. I can cut as many stencils as I wish, and living in South Africa, while we can get stencils, they're horrifically expensive. So this really affords me the opportunity, A, to have some stencils that don't cost an arm and a leg, and like my friend Sally says, I don't have to sell my firstborn to buy them. And then of course, secondly, I can cut my own stencils and my own designs. So here I've taken out a whole bunch of elements from CrowAboutStudios, or Tumblefish, one of them, and I have auditioned the character that I want to put on my page. You'll see I've used a Sharpie and I've just drawn a couple of lines, and now I'm cutting them to make a pair of legs. I really love black and white striped legs. They just remind me of rugby socks when we were kids. I don't know if you get to play rugby. I know the British, the Australians, the South Africans, the French, we all know about rugby, but the Americans, you all play football, which is sort of similar. But you guys don't wear stripy socks. And in the 1970s, and I'm really giving my age away here, rugby socks were the fashion. Girls wore rugby socks which were stripy, and they invariably were different colors for the different teams, and you would wear them with a pair of clogs or wedgies or whatever underneath a skirt. Oh my word, reminiscing. Gee, that brings back some memories. So now what I'm going to do is just piece together my little girl using good old sticky glue stick, and you'll see that I'm a bit wobbly and I sort of lose the pieces every once in a while, and throw the glue over, and you know what? It's all a learning curve for me as well. I am such a klutz and I'm so fumble fingers. But I get it eventually. Hang tight. piece of pink paper was sort of worrying me. I wasn't sure, did I want it, didn't I? Was I going to put a border around it? Was I going to make it look like an easel? This is the beauty of collage. You can add in, you can take away, you can paint over, you can add over again. But this little piece managed to make it onto the page and stay there. Did I tell you in my previous video about using the gift card and a little bit of glue to make sure that your collage elements stick down nice and flat? Well, there you saw what I did. I've got this gift card and I can tell you what, it's come in very handy. I use it for all types of things. And there I lop off the bottom of her legs. And those little pieces just don't want to come off my fingers. So now that my little artist is on, we need to start adding in some elements like her crown. Every artist has a crown. Don't you do your art with a crown on? Well, you should. I promise you, it makes you feel just like the Queen of Art. Not the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Arts. Which way do I put it on? Oh, well, there we go. She's now got a little crown. Sorry about being down off the bottom of the, there we go, out of frame there. I tend to do that and I'm sure it irritates you immensely. My sincere apologies. Anyway, I've got a piece of washi tape or border. I can't remember what that is, but I've put it on just to cover up over her little legs so that I don't have to find some feet for her. It also just brings the bottom of the page in and it doesn't sort of float off into free air, free space. And then I found a lovely piece of paper which was originally, it was a print from, I think, Robin Marie Smith. And I loved that piece. I found it in my stash and I've used it also at the bottom of, there we go, at the bottom of the page. Okay, just doing a little bit of a clear up with all the pieces of paper, because now I'm going to play with my pens and pencils, with my pastels, with whatever I can get my hands on. So I'm going to just speed up the video a little bit after showing you that, you know, after every layer. You've got to make sure everything is dry. So I'm going to speed up the video a little bit, and I'll come back near the end. So now I'm adding my sentiment. Every artist was once an amateur, and that's so true. Yeah, outlining it again with some Inktense pencil, and then going to just activate it with a little bit of water from my watercolor brush, my water brush. It's not a watercolor brush, but I guess you could put watercolor into it. And finally, I'm journaling just some blurb about my day in my loosey-goosey, blurby, journal-y style. Can't remember what it says, but it's there. And then last but not least, I have to put a splash onto the easel. And I tried to blow it. I actually should have had a straw. That would have worked perfectly. So if you're going to do this, use a straw and just blow that splatter out. And there we go. My little girl, my little artist is done. And I do hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. And if you have, please would you consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. And come on over to Facebook and join me at Art Journal Junkie. By the way, just look at that cute little crown now. It's got some stickles on it. So as I was saying, come over to Facebook and join me at Art Journal Junkie. And I wish you all a wonderful day. And I'll see you again soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.